Alright, we're going to give this another try. I want to see if I'm going. If I can't get it working, I will just go back to just streaming through YouTube as I normally do. Alright, it says I'm online for both. Just not seeing anything at the moment for YouTube. Alright, here we go. Alright guys, if anybody's out there, if you can see me, let me know. Trying some new things tonight, so just trying to work out the kinks before I get going. Looks like it might be working. Excellent. So I've tried to get both the Twitch and YouTube chats diverted to the same place. So if you are watching on one of those locations, either YouTube or Twitch, could you just let me know that so that I know that both are working? Just say hi or something. I think I saw Brian Barrett was in YouTube and it was working. I'm just trying to make sure all of the moving parts to this are working before I go ahead and get started. Alright, looks like mine's working. I just put in one on YouTube to see if that was working. I'm going to try one over on Twitch now and do the same thing. Getting a little more complicated here with doing this on two different platforms at the same time. But I want to try and make it available to as many people as possible. Alright, I'm going to move this around, make sure it's working. Alright, hello guys. If you are here and you can hear me, and you can see that I have Ultimate General Civil War up, could you please just go ahead and shoot me a message in the chat? I'm going to adjust my mic here. I just want to make sure that my consolidated chat is working. I think I have it set up correctly to where I'll get messages from both Twitch and YouTube. But I want to make sure those are working, so if you can hear me and you can see this, please shoot me a message through your chat. William, awesome. Dude, don't cancel a dinner date for me. Man, I appreciate your enthusiasm.
Awesome. Dude, don't cancel a dinner date for
You're going to hear feedback because I was just checking my sound.
I appreciate your enthusiasm. Dude, don't cancel a dinner date.
Alright, there we go. I was just making sure the sound was working and I heard myself talking, so you may hear the feedback from that through the mic. But I appreciate it, William. I really do. and I probably would have done the same thing, but I'm just trying to say the thing that my wife would want me to say. So we're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. I just wanted to make sure everything was working properly. It appears that it is, so I'm excited about the chance to go both live on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, and we'll see how this goes. Maybe nobody even watches me on Twitch. I don't know. I guess we'll see. So tonight, just as I kind of wait for some more folks to get on here, we're looking at this is the phase of the campaign we're on. We've got Secure River, Rendezvous, and Seven Pines. I'm not entirely sure we're going to make it all the way through to Gaines Mill tonight. We may just do these three, and then maybe the next live stream is Gaines Mill and Malvern Hill. Too crowded? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, all the people out celebrating St. Patrick's Day. My brother's actually in Dublin, Ireland right now. He went to a St. Patrick's Day parade in Dublin. So I'm more than just a little bit jealous of that. But excited for him and his wife who get to do that. So Taylor, hello. What's going on? Glad to see you all here. So yeah, we're probably just going to get through these three tonight. We'll see how the time goes. But I would anticipate we're not going to get through all four of these battles. Secure River is going to be the one that comes up first. These are three battles that I feel like I can really put a hurt on the Confederate Army in these ones. I think this is an opportunity to destroy his army and hopefully bring his numbers down a little bit before we get into these back-to-back grand battles in Gaines Mill and Malvern Hill, which might be a little challenging. You can see right now his army's up to 85 to 90K. The good news is right here. The armory is only 13 to 18%, which definitely works in my favor. And I get massive amounts of money and manpower for every win that I get, as compared to what you get on the Confederate side. It's kind of nice. William, yes, you do get a brigade name, sir. Absolutely. I was going to wait until I get a 2-star, but you know what? We can go ahead and do that now. Let's see who's the closest to... you know what? McCook is actually an Ohio name, and since I know you are fond of the name O'Hare's Ohio Outlaws, we'll go ahead and put him in there now. Willard McCook, I don't believe, is an actual name of a general, but the last name definitely is. There were a bunch of Union commanders named McCook, so we'll go with that one. And I'll go ahead and put the other ones in as we go along. Paper Collar Brigade, Hampton's Legion, which of course is a Confederate unit. And then I know there's one more, but I'll have to go back and look at my list. But we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a second. I'm just kind of giving time for folks to get in here. All right, so let's go ahead and fire this one up. And as you enter, if you want to just shoot me a message, say hi, let me know that you're here. That will be awesome. We're going to dive right into Secure River. So I'm going to be outnumbered a little bit on this one, but that's totally okay. Because I feel like I've got a really good ability to do some damage to his army with this one. And family's originally from there, at least to the 1870s. From Ohio, you mean? What part of Ohio? I'm just curious. Farmers? Yeah, a lot of people are farmers. The Canadian, hello, how are you doing? Noah, hello, good to see you. Glad you're here. Getting some new faces that maybe I don't think I've seen before, so that's pretty exciting, actually. You don't get to see my face today. Normally you would, and I know some of you are totally fine with the fact that you don't. But as I've mentioned many times before in some of my videos on my channel, we are in the process of moving. Nathan, good to see you again, buddy. And this may be the last live stream I do from our old house down in my man cave in my basement. It could be that the next time I come to you, I will be in our new, very brightly lit office in our new home, which is actually built on the back of the house, and it's kind of like a sunroom with a lot of windows in it. So that may be the next place I stream from. It just depends on when we move. We're still kind of working on when we're going to get the keys. So, but enough about that. Let's talk about this battle. So he's going to be over here and also right here. And the objective, it's a really small map. And I've also got these gunboats down here, which is kind of fun. So the more I can bring him to me, the better, to let him get in range of those gunboats. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start advancing right here. I'm going to hold these guys back down here. and hopefully draw him out of the woods and into the open. I've got my Dark Knights there, all 750 strong, and what I'm hoping for is an opportunity to ride them around and maybe catch one of his units out in the open. I've also got some Napoleons, which I think I'm going to bring over here because that's where I'm feeling I'm likely to get him to come at me. I've got these 10-pounders that I will keep close behind the infantry, but not too close. So let's go ahead and get this one going. This is a pretty quick battle. There's really not much to it. I've got some more. Wait, those are my Napoleons. Okay. And I've also got these 24-pounders, which have a really short range, but can do massive amounts of damage. All right, so I'm going to pause for a second so I can get my units where I want them. Like I said, I'm going to keep these guys close. Not you. And hopefully draw him down into me. And I'm going to keep a couple units kind of as reserve. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to kind of move up this way. And I expect he'll come out of the woods and come charging at me, as the AI seems to like to do recently. So we decided to start this one a little earlier than I usually do with my live streams, because we got a lot of friends out in Europe that have been a part of these live streams, and I didn't want you to have to be up too late. So hopefully, with our time change here, with our daylight saving time change, combined with the earlier start, I'm hoping it's a little easier for our friends in Europe to be a part of this. And if you're new to my live streams, we'd love to talk about any and all things. It doesn't have to have anything to do with what you're seeing on the screen. If you want to talk about the U.S. Civil War in general, you want to talk about something completely unrelated to the U.S. Civil War, just anything at all, I welcome it. The only things that I ask is I try to keep this a family-friendly channel, so just ask you to kind of keep it clean, and let's try to keep politics out of it. As I've said before, I have very strong political opinions, but I see no reason to focus on things that would divide rather than the things that we all obviously have in common, which is our love for history and gaming. So he did come out here for just a second and then just as quickly disappeared. All right, we're going to keep these 24-pounders right there. There he is. Hey, it's Jackson. And there's Anderson right behind him. Alright, so I want to bring Harris up. Just bring the Dark Knight back here. Let's get these guns going. I want him to come at me, and then once I can drive him off, I can try to get around his flank a little bit. Plenty of time. I'm really thinking about how much damage I can do to him rather than just winning the battle by taking the objective. Alright, come on, Jackson. I was hoping you'd move up. Okay, here comes his other ones. And O'Hare, this is your chance. You're going to get moved up into the mix. Good. I was hoping he'd come down at me here. He's not disappointing. As always, I just want to keep more of my units firing on him than he has firing on me. So, for example, in this case, I want to get Loomis and Jackson, or Loomis and Loomis. Oh boy, that's going to have to be changed. But get 2 brigades firing on him at once. I'm going to try to move this up a little quicker because I want to drive Jackson off so I can get the Dark Knights around the flank. I'm going to move Whiting up so we can get another unit firing on Chalmers. So in every case, I'm trying to get 2-on-1 as far as my fire goes. There we go. Get the Loomis boys going. And one of them just got wounded. We're gonna bring Liddell over here and try to get him, if I can get him up. I gotta move this Loomis up so I can cover that flank and get Liddell up, and then we'll bring the Dark Knights around. There's his artillery, and that's why I want to get the... Oh, look at that. He's got 1,000 mounted infantry right there. Dragoons, as you might call them in other wars. I gotta get these Napoleons moved up. Came by steamer to Fort Benton. Alright, let's see here. Alright, so this is working out well so far. Now, he may bring Jackson out from over there, but I'm a little hesitant to get my Dark Knights into the thick of things because of that right there. But so far, we're driving them back all the way along the line. Can the Confederates destroy the gunboats in this battle? I would think... Well, you know what? I don't know, because there's no number on those, right? I mean, so... I guess, in theory... Are they off limits? I don't know, because... I mean, there's obviously no... version of this battle where I would be on the Confederate side to be able to even test that. So I guess I'm guessing maybe not, just because there's no numbers there. Nick, hello, good to see you. So we've got a Noah, we've got a Nathan, we've got a Nick. I love it. Go ahead and move these 10-pounders up. Everything's going smoothly so far. Here's where it gets a little tricky when we get into these woods. I'm gonna bring Liddell over this way a little bit. I've got to get at that artillery. I don't like that. Oh, wait. Now, you know what? Now you can see a number right here. It's 500 on the USS... can't even read that. Arustock? Aronstock? Alright. I'm going to get at this mounted infantry and drive them off. Because I really want to be able to use my Dark Knights. So I'm definitely going to try to inflict some casualties. He's pulling everybody back now. Okay, there's another battery. Maybe I can get at that one. His artillery is almost out of the range of my 10-pounders now. Brian, can you see me okay? Yes, I am here. I ran a couple tests earlier. One was about an hour and a half ago. I ran another one just briefly before we got started, just because I'm live streaming on both Twitch and YouTube tonight, and I had to use kind of a third-party website to do that through. So I wasn't entirely sure how well it was getting set up, but it appears to be working. Good, awesome. I'm glad it's all good now. Because I had some folks asking about me doing this on Twitch, so I wanted that to be an option, but I didn't want it to be at the expense of all the folks who watch on YouTube. You can't, William, you can't see me? Oh, you can't see me, as in specifically me? I'm not using the webcam tonight. Because of packing. I had to stack a bunch of boxes behind me. There's not room for my green screen, which is how I normally do that. I mean, I could still use the webcam, and you'd see like just a really terrible background, but I decided not to do that. Dark Knights, I got a little hasty there in wanting to use them, and that didn't work out so well. I should have waited until I drove off the infantry. Yeah, I think everybody so far who's chatting is watching on YouTube. I get little symbols on because I have the chat combined between Twitter or between Twitch and YouTube. And yeah, moving is not fun. I know you meant that in a sarcastic way, but yeah. Last time I moved was 10 years ago. We had a 2-year-old, and my wife was 7 months pregnant with our second, who is actually 10 now. So it's been 10 years. We anticipate this being the last time that we move in our lifetime, but I guess we'll see. Alright, Dark Knights, hold off. I want to get at this battery. I got 43 minutes. I'm not at all concerned about being able to take the objective. He's got his whole force kind of parked over here, and I have no intention of going after them. Alright, I got to get this battery. He's sending more infantry. Alright, so I'm just looking at the casualties here. He's lost about 3,000 men. I've lost 1,000, so I like that. And I'm just wondering, this is a battle I do not get to extend. It ends the second that the timer runs out. So there's no opportunity to kind of keep this one going to try and inflict more casualties. Alright, here we go. I'm going to move up. Hold on, Dark Knights, because I think Jackson's watching me. I don't want Jackson. Yeah, here he comes. See, I wanted to send my Dark Knights in and get that battery, but Jackson is right behind them. And he could put a volley in that would hurt big time. Alright, let's drop Whiting back while these guys are charging. And I'm going to turn these Napoleons on them. So they're going to take it from the gunships. And here in a minute, they're going to take it from my Napoleons, too. So he's moving everybody up, so I'm having an opportunity here to go ahead and inflict some more casualties on him. Same thing here. We're going to get some canister fire on him if they can reload in time. Ah, Colonel Wagner was killed. Alright, so Dark Knights are going to sit right here. The minute Jackson fires his next volley, I'm going to go a charge on him here. Alright. So right now it's all about just inflicting more casualties. No sense in moving these guns again. By the time they get set back up and have an opportunity to fire, the battle is going to be over. Dark Knights, alright, there. They had to lose another man so they weren't stuck at 665. Or 666. Tired both, I tried both feeds and no me, yeah. Oh, okay, and there's the end of the battle. So, he's acting like he has men to spare. Exactly, he does not. It's amazing to me how aggressive the Confederates are being right now. So there we have, that was a nice quick battle. So we've got 1,800 infantry, 5,000 infantry for him. These next couple of battles are all going to be like that. It's going to be pretty heavy casualties on one side and not the other. So Ivan Maher, in honor of St. Patrick's Day, we've got a good, nice Irish name there. Not the first name. He's got like a Russian first name and an Irish last name. But promoted to Brigadier General. Let's press on. So, William, you can still see the game and hear me talking, right? You're just talking about the fact you can't see my face. Because, yeah, I'm not broadcasting with the webcam tonight. All right, we've got one career point to spend. And I'm tempted to put in Army Organization just so I can get my max brigade size up to 2,500 because I feel like I can do more damage to him that way. I think I will. But I think I've got to get it up to 7 to get 2,500 men in a brigade? Okay, good, William. I just want to make sure that was no issue there. I feel like I'll go politics just because. So we're on to Rendezvous and Seven Pines. Now, Rendezvous is an interesting one because you're basically attacked on 3 sides on this one. I want to go back for just a second because this is interesting. Seven Pines and Rendezvous. Either one of them, whichever one you feel is not as tough as the other, either one of them you can get a discount or a reduction in the enemy force for winning the other battle first. So either way, we're gonna go. I think we're gonna go Rendezvous first. All right, but first we gotta. Well, let's check and see how many men we take into that one. Get 8 brigades. Now this one's a little trickier because you get attacked from different sides at the same time. These guys are so close to being a 2-star unit, so I'm going to go veteran with those. Let's take a look here. Oh, we can get 1,750 Harper's Ferry 1855s for 7 government points. Yeah, we're going to do that. And I'm going to go ahead and give them to these guys right here. Not a commander. There we go. Alright, there we go. So they're armed with those Harper's Ferries now. O'Hare, you're getting closer to 2 stars. You'll be there before long. You got Springfields. Just kind of looking at their performance here. They're doing quite well for themselves. This guy's still a relatively green unit, so I'm not going to worry about veterans there. Now I'm going to drop these 12-pounders out. I'll keep the Napoleons. We need a division commander here. And we're not going to go with a colonel. I got to create another division just to store people. I think we still have too many. Wasn't it 9? Alright, so it's 8. So we got to take one more out. So we got to go ahead and swap a colonel there so we can put a brigadier general in charge of the division. And we got to take one more of these units out. I guess we'll drop Harris. And then we'll max all these ones out. So I got a lot of units still with 1842s. I think I'm going to upgrade some of these. I've got the money, and I'll certainly have the money after this next battle. So even going to Lawrence's is going to give me a better efficiency. Not quite as good in melee combat. That's going to be 44,000 though. Alright, I guess we'll wait. We're still better equipped than he is. So let's take a look at how it looks going into Rendezvous. Get another $110,000 and 5,000 troops for winning this battle. Alright, so he's only got 7,200 men in this one, so I'm going to outnumber him 2-1. That makes me tempted to bring cavalry. I think I will. So I'm going to bring the Dark Knights into this one. They're getting close to 2-star status. Alright, there we go. I just don't want to get into this battle and find myself wishing I had brought cavalry with me when I didn't. So I've still got a 6,000 man advantage. He has no guns. So this one, this is a battle where he's going to come at me from over here. He's going to come at me from up here. He's going to come at me from over here. The objective's here. I don't start with my full force. I get reinforcements from over here at some point later on in the battle. So, not going to bring in artillery just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring 2 brigades over here to get ready to meet that threat. I'll bring the rest up this way. And I'll just build myself kind of a nice little area to defend in these woods until my reinforcements arrive. Alright, let's pause. Nope. Like this. So we're going to wait for those guys right there. I'm going to send these guys up this way because I believe his supplies come in up here completely unguarded. And then I'm going to bring out a bunch of skirmishers just to cover my other side. I'm basically going to make a circle here. Alright, yeah, cavalry, yeah, Brian Barrett, that's exactly my thought. Because I believe his supplies jump in right over here pretty much as soon as the battle starts. And it's kind of cheating to know that, but I don't care. So I'll cover my rear like this with those skirmishers. He's already taken the objective, and there are the rebels, and there are the supplies. Not entirely sure why his supplies come in over there like that, but thank you very much, sir. I guess I can slow down now. So now we're just going to hang tight and fight it out here until my reinforcements arrive, and then we can kind of open it up. So I guess, you know, if these 3 battles go as quick as they seem to be, I guess maybe we will get up to the big one tonight. Hey, our dad Gallant is in Twitch. Battle's going so far so good. This is actually just the beginning of the second battle. And this is my first time trying streaming through Twitch as well, and it seems to be working. I've got my chat combined so I can follow both at the same time. And so you're right at the beginning of the second one. If you want to go back, I don't know how it'll work on Twitch, but I know on YouTube the whole thing will be up later on tonight, so you'll be able to go back and see what you missed. You just missed, I did the Secure River battle. It was pretty quick. It was over really fast. So I'm on to the second one now. This is Rendezvous, then we'll go into Seven Pines. So I'm just going to sit tight and fire away at these guys. I grabbed his supplies, and I'm going to wait for my reinforcements to arrive. And I'm going to sit here with the Dark Knights and wait for one or both of these units to break into the open. And when they do, I'm going to pounce on them and hopefully either cause them both to break or cause them both to surrender altogether. I think I'm going to bring some of these skirmishers over here and get up on his flank. Yeah, you know what I think tends to happen, Brian, is that most of us probably advance toward the objective, and so we never really realize that that's where those Confederates come in because we end up encountering them somewhere over here. And so you don't really think too much about where they came from. And he's just going to hang tight there. I don't know exactly how far into this I get my reinforcements. Here they come. Ask and you shall receive. Alright, so let's slow things down. So now I don't know where he is. So in an abundance of caution. And just because they tend to be overpowered anyway, we'll go ahead and get some skirmishers going. Typically in most Civil War games, I tend to play Confederate just because I feel like it's more of a challenge. Plus, any game that I play, I always lean toward playing the side that lost because I like the ability to change history. You know, so for example, Hearts of Iron, I hardly ever play as the United States just because I don't see much of a challenge or much of a excitement in doing what happened historically. Alright, so we've got these guys in the open now. I'm going to go ahead and shift these units over this way. And I'm going to bring the Dark Knights down and try to finish these guys off. And then I can start to focus on this side. Alright, so we do have a unit that's up here. I'm not sure where those skirmishers are going. I'm going to keep all these guys right here until I finish them off here, and then I can turn my focus toward the objective. Yeah, Gallant, I appreciate that. I've been meaning to get to Twitch. It was just a matter of making sure that I could do both simultaneously. I didn't want to broadcast on Twitch at the expense of the people on YouTube, which is most of the following I have so far. But I definitely did want to branch out and start doing both. So I'm glad that I was able to figure it out in such a way that I can broadcast both at the same time. All right, we got these guys cornered. We can start focusing over here now. And just kind of looking at the numbers now, obviously they're heavily in my favor. He's lost 1,200 men. I've only lost 300 so far. This is one of those battles that does allow it to keep going. So it's an opportunity maybe to completely destroy his army and try to bring his overall numbers down a little bit. YouTube is so 2017. Alright, his first unit broke over here. We're going to get the second one to do the same. I want to get those Dark Knights up to 2 stars. And why? No, there we go. O'Hare, you get to be the ones to finish him off over here. 525 kills, 39 deaths. Alright, let's go ahead and start advancing. So I'm optimistic now that maybe we can get to the grand battle tonight. I'm going to just hold the skirmishers there. I don't want to advance on his. Alright, that unit down in the corner surrendered. Oh, hello. 28th North Carolina was hiding up in the woods. And here he comes with his favorite activity, which is charging headlong into superior numbers. So he's got 2 units up here in these woods. And I don't know where that unit went, if he ended up over there. So we're going to go ahead and advance on the objective. I'm going to send Lyle's skirmishers up just to figure out if this is the other unit that was out there or not. Because he's got 4,700 men left. There's 1,700 here. Another 700 here. So there's definitely some units that are missing. And I'm guessing they're up here somewhere. You know, I could rout the surrendered troops. It's just in a battle like this where I don't know where the enemy is, my fear is in sending them in a direction that they get rescued. So I'd just rather keep them close to my lines to protect against that happening. In a bigger battle where I have a defined line and I know he's not behind me, I could probably do that. Alright. There's the guys I was wondering about. So I just got to kind of get him bottled up so I can have a normal facing front. Stonewall Jackson's favorite plan, charge. So here's another opportunity to use my cavalry, hopefully. It's just he's got all these skirmisher units. Yeah, and here comes the charge again. And we just, oh wow, 28th North Carolina just surrendered. I guess it was because of the skirmishers. Yeah, I don't typically, Nick. I know that's an option, but more often than not, I'm fearful of them being rescued, and I just choose to keep them close to the rear of my lines. And especially in a battle like this where they're kind of all over the place. Alright, we secured the objective. And the North Carolina boys are getting into the woods, so my cavalry's not going to do much good against them there. We're just going to let them get away and focus on the ones in the north. Oh, slow down. This one's going to let me keep going, even after the battle's over. Or after the timer runs out. So we'll definitely do that. He's down to just 3,000 men at this point. And honestly, Seven Pines is going to be another battle like this where I can pretty well rout him and do some pretty decent damage, I think. So let's see if we can get the 18th North Carolina. If I get a good volley on him, he may break into the open over here. No, I think we'll keep this one going a little while. Perfect. It looks like it's going to work. He's going to break into the open. Only problem is if I hit him, he may break back into the woods again. Oh, look, there's skirmishers. Ah, Brigadier General wounded. That's the price you pay for keeping the battle going, I guess. Come on, hit him, Dark Knights, before he fires a volley on you. So once this resolves, I think I'm going to end this one. Not because I shouldn't, normally I'd probably push it here some more, but honestly, I'm just trying to keep it moving for the sake of the video, or the live stream. I want to be able to get into. Okay, they're in the woods. Nothing more is going to happen there. All right, so 768 casualties for me. When you count the missing, he's at about 4,500. Nice thing, grab those 4,000 supplies. Grabbed a bunch of useless reboard farmers that I will turn around and sell. But we're in a good position here moving forward. And I think I will go... Now, we'll go put the 2 into Army Organization later on. We don't need those yet. I'm going to go politics again. Just kind of stack up and load up on that money and troops. So I've got to make a change here. And free up a brigade commander to promote him to division level. So Seven Pines, I think we only take 6 brigades into that one because there's some forces that are not my own that I get to use at the same time. So I'm just going to be taking 6 brigades into this one. Have I ever read the book Rebel Yell, The Violence, Passion, and Redemption of Stonewall Jackson? No, but it sounds really interesting. I'm a huge... I find Stonewall Jackson to be an immensely intriguing character. Really interesting guy because of just the quirks that he had. He was brilliant, but he was also really weird and just kind of cool. And I thought, and I've said this before, I thought Stephen Lang portrayed him brilliantly in Gods and Generals. Name my units for ID's sake. Yeah, it's not a bad idea. So we do take 6 brigades into this one. So we've got ourselves another 2-star unit here, and we're going to go ahead and Vermont these boys up. Paper Collar Brigade. And they're using Harper's Ferries. I want to keep them with something that goes along with being good shooters. So there we go. Now I can go a little bit with rookies, then go veteran. Wow. 162 men for 10,000. Maybe not the way to go just yet. So maybe we'll just keep them at about 1850 for now.
Yes, sir.
O'Hare's, you're getting super close. I definitely want to have cavalry in this battle. I want to get them to 2 stars, but not that bad. Yeah, Canadian, I totally agree. And we've had this conversation before during live streams at other times about the positives and the negatives of the film Gods and Generals, but I don't think anybody could argue that Stonewall Jackson, the parts with Jackson, weren't portrayed brilliantly. I just wish they'd focus more on the military and left kind of the civilian stuff out of it, because I really feel like that's where a lot of the drawback was in that movie. I understand why they did that, but alright, so I think we will drop out Whiting because he's one of our more green units here. I guess I can't, so unless I create a 3rd corps, which I can certainly do. Just as kind of a storage unit. Alright, there we go. So these will be our 6 brigades that we take into Seven Pines. And I do want to talk a little bit about the Battle of Seven Pines, because it's an interesting battle. And there's a lot of cool history that goes along with this battle, which is not one that people know a lot about, because in the grand scheme of things, it was a small battle. But at the time, it was one of the bloodiest battles of the war. It was just the beginning of a series of bloody battles, though. But obviously, it's best known as the battle that created the opportunity for Robert E. Lee to become the commander of the Confederate forces in the East. So even with only taking 6 brigades, going to have a nice advantage in manpower. So much so that I'm almost tempted to take another unit of cavalry, but I don't think I will. So Seven Pines is a battle. There were about, I think, 5,000 to 6,000 casualties on each side. So you can see they're already fighting, and we're kind of showing up as the reinforcements to turn the tide in this one. This is the closest that unnamed ones. Not sure what you mean, William. I do have some more that I still have to name, but so this is the closest that the Union Army got to Richmond during the Peninsula Campaign. Every battle that was fought after Seven Pines was further away from Richmond. Now he's immediately assaulting the Union position, and I'm going to kind of rush to their defense. So he may drive them back a little bit here. This battle was, tactically it was a draw. I mean, it was inconclusive. Neither side really gained nor lost anything major. I'm going to move these guys up. But Joseph Johnston, who was the commander of the Confederate Army, was wounded fairly severely at this battle, and that's what directly led to Robert E. Lee taking charge of the Union Army. He was sent. He was Jefferson Davis's advisor in Richmond, and so he was nearby, and Davis sent him to take command of the army, and he never lost it after that. And he didn't have a sterling reputation with the troops early on when he took command. That was certainly something he earned over time. All right, so we're getting into position here. I'll have HG for ID's sake. Normally, you know what? Normally, William, I do that, but in this battle, it's actually fairly easy to tell which one are mine because there's only 6 of them. It's a small, short battle, and all of the units that are not mine are pretty small. So I know that mine are the ones that have upwards of 2,000 men. But yeah, normally that's exactly what I would do. So right now I'm going to sit tight. And I'm going to look for an opportunity to jump on somebody with my cavalry. Old Granny, yeah, I believe you're right, Canadian. Of course, Stonewall Jackson's men had similarly unflattering nicknames for him until they started winning victories in the field. Also, another interesting tidbit on this battle, there was a Confederate private who was severely wounded in his right arm and actually lost the use of his right arm in this battle by the name of Henry Wirtz. Henry Wirtz went on to become an officer and was put in command of a prison down in Georgia that was known as Camp Sumter, but we know it as Andersonville. And of course, Wirtz was one of two men who were hanged for war crimes after the Civil War was over because of how things were handled at Andersonville now. You could argue that Elmira up in New York was just as bad on the Union side, but to the victors go the spoils, so they say. But Henry Wirtz was wounded here at Seven Pines. It was also known as Fair Oaks. Lee was the commander of the Virginia militia. So yeah, that would have included West Virginia. Are you back there reading a book on your horse? Yes, I think I am. Let's bring me up. I am not much of an attention to detail guy, unfortunately, and sometimes that causes me to forget to move myself up. Man, he just loves charging right now. I think Dorsey Pender was wounded in this battle, too. I could be mistaken. Maybe I'm thinking of Pettigrew. Speaking of people hanged for war crimes, a lot of people don't know this, but there were two people that were hanged for war crimes after the war. Henry Wirtz was one of them. The other guy was a guy by the name of Champ Ferguson, who had executed 53 captured Union prisoners. And General George Pickett was very nearly put on charges for war crimes as well. It was only through the intervention of General Grant, I believe, that kept from happening, because Pickett had actually ordered the execution of some Union soldiers that were captured at New Bern, North Carolina, because they were North Carolina troops. They were men from North Carolina who had enlisted in the Union Army, and he ordered, I think there were 20 of them, 22, something like that, and they were executed, and it was strongly considered that they were going to put Pickett on charges for war crimes for that. So I'm going to bring the Dark Knights down the middle here. Take out these batteries real quick. Camp Douglas near Chicago. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Was Douglas near Chicago? Because there was one in Ohio too, in Columbus. I think there was something Lookout Island or Lookout Point. I don't know, I'm trying to remember. There were so many of them, but really none of them were really good. My general has been killed. Leaving him alone. Alright, so we've got them bottled up down in here. So again, we're going to try to cause as many casualties as possible on this one. I'm going to come up here and try to get after Pender. I don't know if there are any other units over here or not, but we're going to find out in a second. I think we can cause Pender to surrender if he's all alone. Honestly, after playing Legendary for a while now, I welcome the, especially Legendary on the Confederate side, I welcome the change of pace that is playing as the Union on Brigadier General. Oh boy. Back up, Robinson, back up. This was also, I believe, if not the first, one of the first battles in which balloons were used. I know the Union used balloons during this battle to kind of scout the enemy positions. and I know both sides used them during the Peninsula Campaign. All right, so he's loading up down over here on this side, so I need to try and bring some more troops down to deal with that. I want to try and grab those supplies if I can get my cavalry down there. I don't know if I can, though. Come on, what are we waiting on finishing off Pender here? There, Pender surrendered. Just got to speak and it happens, I guess. If only it were that easy in life. Yeah, so we're definitely going to be able to get to the grand battle at the end of this thing. Hey, Galan, I'm glad you liked the Ostriv and Banish. Yeah, I'm trying to branch out a little bit. I've always been a huge fan of city builders, things like that. And I think there's room on a channel named History Guy for things like that. So, really enjoying. I played Ostriv a little more today just kind of for fun. But I really enjoy games like that. So, come on, bring it, Hampton. General Robinson wounded. There's Abercrombie. I almost feel like I need to have a General Fitch now. Yeah, Gallant, that was the plan. I was trying to think of the folks in Europe. I know that it's late for y'all, and I know that there are a number of people in Europe who follow this channel, and I didn't want to go too much earlier than that and cut into the middle of the day on Saturday here in the States. But anything I can do to kind of accommodate our friends in Europe a little bit, I certainly wanted to do that, so I'm glad that helps a little. Alright, so we're going to push these guys to the brink here. Just got to be a little careful that I don't leave that open to some shenanigans on his part, but I don't think that's going to happen here. He's down to just... Well, he's still got 4,000 men. Hey, there's Hood. Another evil brigade, 666. So he's lost... I mean, obviously he's lost a lot of men. I've not quite lost 2,000. And, of course, not all of those are mine. In fact, you can see for the most part my brigades are doing really well for themselves. All of my brigades are the ones that are listed as the First Corps here. Yeah, I'm going to grab his supply. Bendowski, glad to see you. I'm glad you're enjoying it, and I appreciate the expression of thanks. Where are those supplies? All right, let's go exploring a little bit. I want to see if they're back in this corner first. I'm guessing they're over here, but I just want to make sure there's nothing back in this corner that I'm missing. I got plenty of time to do this with my cavalry. Bendowski, where are you? Are you here in the States? Are you in Europe? Where are you watching from? Actually, let me ask everybody that. Just give me a quick... I know where some of you all are from, but just give me a quick where you're from. If you're in the U.S., what state are you from? Burlington, Vermont. So you are probably... yeah, they're the other way. I figured they probably were. Okay. The Paper Collar Brigade, that's a unit that's named in honor of that Vermont brigade that fought so valiantly in the war for a short time. I believe they were under the command of George Stannard at Gettysburg, and really instrumental in not only day 1 but day 3 of that battle. Toronto, very cool. Toronto's really not all that far from me. I want to say I can get to Toronto in maybe 4.5 hours. Washington State via Chicago. Portsmouth, UK. Paul. I am a what one would call an Anglophile. I'm a huge fan of all things UK. Obviously, I have a great love for my own country, but if ever I were to live in another, it would absolutely be the UK. Looking very much forward to an opportunity to visit there one of these days. It was going to happen this year, but buying a house kind of got in the way of that. Awesome, Gallant. I will definitely do that. I'll definitely keep doing Twitch streams anytime I do a live stream, and maybe even sometimes in between when I'm just sitting around playing. Maybe I'll do a Twitch stream here and there just for fun. Let's see if we can find those supplies. Oregon, Beeper Man. Hello, good to see you. There's the Devil's unit. He's probably got his supplies in such a place that I may not be able to get to him. Oh, there they are, right there. Okay. Alright, we're going to press this. We're just going to back them all into the corner, I guess. And in the meantime, maybe we'll wipe out General Hood, the Texas Brigade. We gotta watch the Devil's Brigade here first. I've only been in Oregon once, and that was really brief. I was actually in Winnemucca, Nevada, speaking at a little school there. And the town, which is basically like 5 buildings, the school sits on the border. The school's in Nevada, and their football stadium is in Oregon. So I walked across the street just to say I'd been in Oregon. And that's kind of the extent. But, I mean, everything I've seen and heard, it's obviously a very beautiful place, and I definitely hope to spend more time there someday. Alright, Hood, I see what you're doing. He's going to make a break for the objective. And here comes the opportunity to grab those supplies. Hampton surrendered. We're going to have to nab Pettigrew before we can get the supplies. I'm going to send some skirmishers. As soon as I grab the supplies, I'm going to end this because I want to leave time for that last battle, which I know is going to take a while. Illinois, very cool. Illinois is not so far away from me. I didn't see that before, Taylor. Sorry. Alright, we got the supplies. Let's see if we can finish off Pettigrew, since I got him right here. The 13th Vermont Regiment was in the Paper Collar Brigade, I believe. I'm fairly certain they were part of that unit. Alright, there we go. We nabbed Pettigrew as well. So I think that's about as well as we can expect here. There's only just Rhodes is the only unit left on the battlefield. We'll let him scurry away. So there we have it. Another decisive victory for my side. Wow, we actually grabbed... How in the world does he have Springfield 1855s? Interesting. So we grabbed some of those. That's nice. I got my first Major General, Willard McCook. So we're going to have to, if I haven't already, promote him to... Yeah, we're going to have to promote him up to Division Command, so we'll have to do a little swap here. All right. So now let's take a look ahead before we do anything at Gaines Mill. Did DHL survive the war? Yes, he did. I don't know that he ever rose above division command until very late in the war. I could be mistaken about that, but A.P. Hill was killed in the last week of the war, just a couple of days before Appomattox, which was really kind of unfortunate that happened, and I know that was tough for Lee and tough for his men so late in the war to have that happen. I think he was killed by a sniper, but yes, I believe Daniel Harvey Hill survived the war. So he's going to have 32,000 before any scaling happens. We're going to have 2 corps. Man, it's been so long since I fought this battle that I'm kind of drawing a blank on how I even did it. But obviously, I'm going to want to have a lot of artillery up there at the front, and we'll load up as much as we can here. So let's see. I'm actually going to go in economy a little bit because I think I'm going to have a plethora of men and manpower. Just went to see Lincoln's Tomb. I have not gotten there yet, and I very much want to do that. I also hear that the museum they have there now in Springfield for Lincoln is supposed to be fantastic, so I want to check it out. Watching on 2 screens, that's awesome. I love it. All right, so let's see. Nothing really to spend money on, so we're going to just start the process now of getting ready. Oh, no, we can't go that far. All right, let's get the Dark Knights up. We'll just go to 700 for now. But I'm going to drop them into the 2nd Corps. So if anybody remembers this particular battle a little better than I do, I just fought it on the Confederate side, but I haven't done it on the Union side for a while, and you have any helpful tips, now would be a great time for those. Let's try and get some of this artillery over into the 1st Corps. DHL and AP Hill, I do believe they were related. Marlon Martin, I'm glad you're here, sir. A tourist trap as far as the price. Good to know, Taylor. Yeah, I don't believe DHL and AP Hill were related, not to my knowledge, anyway. So I'm going to swap out. I'm going to try and get a colonel in charge of this unit here, get him up to 1 star. There we go. Only got a major in charge of this one. So just some little housekeeping issues that I'm kind of taking care of here.
Yes, sir.
I want to make sure I get colonels in charge of my infantry brigade so that we can make best use of those. His house and tomb are free and just as interesting, very cool. I rushed my troops to the very front last time and used my reinforcements to hold the objectives last time. Actually, yeah, that's right. I do remember doing that, and that seemed to work out really well as I recall. Thank you for reminding me of that, Canadian. I completely forgot that I had done that. I just want to take a look real quick and see. So he is scaling up. I figured that would probably happen, and that's totally fine. So I don't know how much he's going to keep scaling if I keep throwing units in here. I'm in desperate need of better commanding officers for some of these units. I think I'll give the Springfields to a different unit here. If you look closely, it's the same map as the river crossing battle. If you start out defending like the AI does in that battle, you can inflict massive casualties before you fall back, that is. Nice. Very cool. Gallant, I was just looking at your comment about planning a trip to tour the big historical sites. Very cool indeed. I'm just curious to see how much he's going to keep scaling up. Yeah, he's going to keep going here. So right now he's got 12,000 more men than me. At what point does it become kind of counterproductive to keep loading up on these troops? I don't know. I don't think you can get rid of a corps, can you? Because I'm wondering if having that third corps is hurting me right now. As far as the scaling goes. Man, I don't even have any lieutenant colonels available anymore. Woo, getting expensive now for the new units. Alright, we'll just do one. Yeah, see, okay, he's got 13,000 more, well, 12,700 more men than me. Well, you know, Gallant, it's interesting that, you know, I do find it a little bit interesting that Europeans are interested in the American Civil War, but then I think about the fact that I likewise find myself interested in wars in Europe. Napoleonic War, for example, which, you know, almost all of my relatives were here by that point, so I don't think I have any, well, I certainly don't have any ancestors who fought in the Napoleonic conflicts. But, hey, yeah, it's interesting either way, I guess. I do have a lot of interest in earlier wars in Europe, and of course, being that all my ancestors, for the most part, were from Europe, I guess that makes a lot of sense for Americans. So I'm just curious. I'm just going to disband one unit. He had 13,700 more men than me. What's it look like if I take 2,000 out? So now he's only got about 12,000 more men than me. So as I go up by 2,000, he goes up by even more. So I guess there's a point at which it actually was counterproductive to have more men in this fight. But it's also an opportunity to inflict more casualties, I guess. And since I'm on the defensive, we'll kind of go with what we got here. I think I'm limited, though, aren't I, on the second corps? No, we're good. It's 8 and 12, so we just got to hang on for dear life at the beginning. Okay, so moving up is the plan here. Got these 20 pounders. I'll keep them right where they are, I think, for the time being. We're just going to greet him as he enters the battlefield. I don't have to hold both parts, that's right. Yeah, I only have to hold one of them, the hill or the woods, and of course that should be fairly easy. Got my big heavy guns. They're going to take a while to move. Fall back to the river and the hill, huh? You thinking like right here? Might not be a bad idea. I think eventually he gets reinforcements from up here, but not right now. Of course, I know what happens typically when I follow the advice of everyone who's watching, but on this one, I'm definitely going to follow that advice, I think. I don't want to get too aggressive when I'm in a battle that I'm outnumbered that significantly. My side of the river and the hill to the north. Hey, there's AP Hill. Yeah, I do remember attacking up that hill. The last time I just did this battle, I launched the entire attack as the Confederates. I came over from this side. It ended up only being like 3,000 casualties to win the battle. It wasn't that severe at all. I waited until all my reinforcements came and then hit it from that side. All right, here he comes. Yeah, eventually I'm going to fall back to that position, but I think at least at first, if I can catch him early out here. Whoa, boys. A couple of them still had their original orders. Hey, Mike. Glad you're watching. Appreciate you being here. Thank you, sir. And OH. Oh, yeah, 24 pounders. You're right. Where are you in the, Mike, are you still in Ohio, or are you, where are you from in Ohio? Buckeyes should be playing right now, I believe. The basketball Buckeyes, that is. Of course, I'm also a big UK fan when it comes to Ohio State starts in about a half hour. UK is winning. Kentucky. Yeah, I see what you're saying about that hill, John Payne. And I probably could have held it. I didn't want to spread myself up that thin. And I want to keep myself a little bit close to this so I can back up when I need to. And I want to keep one eye on kind of the numbers as far as the... So it's actually saying I don't have either one of these right now, so that triggered the next phase of the battle. Akron, Canton area, Hartville. Yes, I know Hartville well. That's like 35, 40 minutes from me. My mom lives in Arizona now. She used to live in Glendale. She's out in Tucson now. More rebel forces coming. I'm going to just send a couple of units of skirmishers back just to grab the objectives, just so they're in my hands. And I'm also going to send some out over here to get on Greg's flank. Oh, my 20-pounders can't see his... I need to get... I'm going to cross over here because I need to be able to see his battery. I want to be able to get some counter battery fire going. You're in Tucson? Very cool. My mom lives actually not far. I think maybe a mile from the grocery store where Congresswoman Giffords was shot. His skirmishers hit mine. In fact, she shops at that grocery store. I wonder if he must have pulled... No, there's that battery. Alright, I'm going to... Yeah, I needed some skirmishers so I could see the battery. There we go. Northwest as well. Oh, very cool. You're not far from where my mom is then. Yeah, she is in Northwest Tucson. I haven't been there for a number of years. Last time I saw her, she was out here, but I saw a red dot on the mini-map. Skirmishers to my left. Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm going to park some of mine out here too, just so I can have a view of what's happening. I think after this phase of the battle, or fairly soon, I may have to drop back, because he's going to start coming down from up here, and I may not have my reinforcements yet. So far, so good as far as the casualties go. Looks like I've lost about 240 men, and I've taken out 2,000 of the enemy already. There's 24 pounders have 226 kills already. Alright, I can see most of this now. Now, he still may sneak up behind me over here. He's obviously, I mean, I've still got about, what, 10,000 men not here. He's got at least half his army that hasn't arrived yet. I'll speed this up a little bit. Yeah, that's true, Nathan. You can't hold all three, but you don't need to hold all three to win. So, as you can see here, you just have to hold McGee Hill plus one of the other ones. Alright, here comes Ewell's division. I think he's coming down from that right side, so this is the point at which I probably need to consider a tactical withdrawal. Yeah, and here's some more coming as well, so it won't let me fall back for Swallow, so I'm going to do this the old-fashioned way. I'm going to start with the artillery to give them time to get back. Ah, come on, run, get out of there. South of the objective, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that's where they are. I'll send Loomis' skirmishers down here just to keep an eye on them. He's got too many men on the line now for me to be able to really withdraw easily. I may be stuck there, just hoping to get my reinforcements. There they are! I gotta drive off his unit so I can get back in defense easier. At least it's letting me fall these guys back. I guess because the enemy's in range. Oh, what are you doing? No, no, no. Yeah, thanks, Marlon. I didn't think it was going to go that smoothly. I thought it wasn't going to allow me to do that, but I'm doing it just in time. As you can see, he just got more reinforcements on the battlefield. He's now got about an 8,000 man advantage. And somewhere back here in these marshes... No, there they are. There's the skirmishers. All right, this is an issue for me because he's over near my artillery now. So I'm going to try to get him in a little pincer move here. Alright, paper collar, you got to keep dropping back, buddy. So it may be to my advantage to not try and stretch out over this part of the line, since I don't have to hold that objective. Yeah, that's exactly, John Payne, that's exactly what I was thinking. Yeah, forward, I was thinking that too about McClellan. He was on the wrong side of the river. He wasn't even present for some of these battles during the 7 days. I think John Porter did a whole lot more commanding than McClellan did. Yeah, fortifications are a mixed blessing on this game. A lot of times you're better off not to use them at all, just because they stretch your line out so much, but they do give you that advantage of more cover. I gotta get. I'm gonna back O'Hare up. Hopefully my reinforcements are coming before too long. I don't know when I get those. Hi, Mia. Yeah, Mia, I believe you. Aren't you the one who recommended for me to play Ostriv? I appreciate that very much. I'm glad you're here. And maybe at some point we'll do a stream on something like that too. But yeah, I'm playing against the PC. I'm actually on Brigadier General difficulty, which is kind of their normal mode. There are 4 difficulty levels on this game. There's Colonel, which is kind of the easy difficulty. Hey, there's Anderson. Brigadier General, which is the normal, and then there's Major General, and then Legendary, which is kind of like the extreme or very hard mode, I guess you could say. Oh, we gotta get these supplies out of here. And I want to move the 24-pounders up. Yep, John Payne, you said it just as I... right after I moved them, I saw your message about moving the supplies. Alright, so Confederates, they can have that objective. It doesn't affect my ability to win the battle. So casualties now, I've lost about 800 men. He's lost a little over 5,000. That's the way we like to see it go. I should have kept... yeah, I'll keep some artillery over here. AI is nothing if not consistent when it comes to wanting to charge at me with one unit. Here comes D.H. Hill over on the right. Hey, Canadian. See you soon. Yes, Nick, I totally agree. Unlike a lot of games, the AI is, for the most part, fairly smart. He occasionally does dumb things, but more often than not, I feel like the AI is fairly smart on this game. He's really coming around on my left side. Forward. That's about as good a description of the differences as I have ever seen. Yeah, Brian, I completely agree. McClellan was great at preparing an army for battle and terrible actually using the army in the field. He was just way too cautious and cared way too much about his men. I think somewhere in between McClellan and Grant was the happy medium that makes a good general. Where are my reinforcements? Could kind of use them about now. He's got me by about 6,000 men on the field. But I believe he's gotten most, if not all, of his reinforcements. He'll get a few more yet. All right, here we go. Last phase of the battle. 24-pounder's having a good day. So since I drove Rhodes off, I can come over here with Newell and kind of support these skirmishers that are standing up against what... maybe not. Between the woods and McGee Hill. Use the woods as cover and line up the guns behind the infantry. So you're saying like right here? We also have an ammo issue, so I've got to get some supply to these guys. Actually, I'll let them come to the supplies. Where are the rest of my men? Would very much like to have them about now. Yeah, Nathan, anytime I can make my line shorter and more compact, think Gettysburg, if you're familiar with the fish hook that the Union had there, where their line kind of hooked around like this, and it made it to where the distance between the two flanks was actually really small, which allowed for shifting reinforcements back and forth easily. That's always the way to go if possible. And I can actually, I can shift King up here now. Yeah, Mia. The fun thing, the cool thing about Banished is the variety with the mods, but one thing I found with Banished, and the reason I didn't use... Oh boy, these skirmishers are done for. The reason I didn't use a lot of the mods to start out when I first made my first little series of videos is that it's easy if you're not familiar with the game. Yeah, I knew that would happen. To get overwhelmed by the options with the mods. Because it gives you so many more options on Banished as far as the things you can build. So the mod is definitely something you got to ease into. And I guess I never tried that game on my old PC, so I don't know how well or how badly it works with those things. We're going to rescue our skirmishers here in a minute. There we go. And we're just going to reattach them to the parent unit now. Yeah, things are pretty solid at this point. I see the wisdom in this line, and I could see I'm going to drop Swallow skirmishers back too and reattach them. Should be in good shape at this point. Oh, at last, the reinforcements, are they arriving? Yep, there they are. Hey, look at that. Hey, General Grant, you might want to back up. Just a thought. Oh boy. Hold up, Scales. Now comes the fun. All right, let's get some Loomis. Get Loomis some artillery. Not some artillery, some ammo. I'm going to pause for just a quick second here and kind of regroup and just look at everything. We've got about an hour and 21 to go. Numbers-wise, I've still only lost about 3,300 men, which it feels like it's more just because of the amount of fighting that's gone on. He's lost 12,000. But this is going to get more one-sided as far as the casualties go here fairly soon. He's sending roads over. I got to be careful here. All right, things are definitely stabilizing on my right, so I can start getting some more troops over to the left. Don't drop that much. We're going to have some fun with him once I can get this artillery up. Alright, we got his supplies. And now I'm going to destroy Seymour. Yeah, you guys are talking about Skyrim and Elder Scrolls. I'm a big fan of those as well. I really get into those type of games. I've played Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online a little bit. We're really branching out into different territory now with what we're talking about. This battle is easier from the Confederate side, I agree. See more, see less. This, I believe, if I'm remembering my history correctly, this was one of those battles where the Confederates actually outnumbered the Union, which didn't happen very often. I just got to remember I still need to take this objective back. Yeah, if he's going to shift left, I'll be ready for him. Give them no mercy. I like it. I've not visited nearly as many of the battlefields around Richmond as I'd like to. I had a little bit of time, really briefly, about a year and a half ago, that I got over to Cold Harbor, which is also the... I think it's Gaines Mill is also the Cold Harbor battlefield. And a little bit of Petersburg, but not much. Mechanicsville, Chickamauga. Yeah, Chickamauga I knew was one of those battles where they were out, where the Confederates outnumbered. Get some supplies up here. I still have to take the objective back. I mean, I will, but it's just a matter of actually doing it. And he'll make a desperate charge to take it at the end. Bragg. Yeah, Bragg, gosh, it makes me wonder how differently the war may have gone. I don't know if the war would have gone differently, but I wonder how Lincoln's prospects for winning the election might have gone differently if they had had some more competent commanders in the West. I mean, even just if Albert Sidney Johnston hadn't been killed at Shiloh, they would have had a competent commander in the West. Yeah, my right's definitely okay, and I think the left is too. Stonewall Jackson appears to be present on the battlefield. Well, the battle might have gone differently if Stonewall Jackson had been present a little sooner on the battlefield. This was a battle where the attacks... This could have been a significant Confederate victory if they had coordinated their attacks better, and if Jackson hadn't gotten lost, basically. Ohio State starts in 5 minutes. Go Buckeyes! Gonzaga's going to be a tough one. Yeah, you're talking about forward. You're talking about Richard Taylor, the son of the former president, Zachary Taylor's son. I believe he was the last high-ranking Confederate officer to surrender. And Zachary Taylor, obviously he died in office, so he didn't live to see those things. But you also had John Tyler, who was former president who actually was briefly elected to the Confederate Congress, but I think he died before he could take office. Units creeping behind me. Okay. There's 5 minutes left, so I think I'm okay. Oh, Gonzaga, yeah. They're in, is that Washington? Washington State they're in? Stanwadi, yeah, but I don't think Stanwadi was a high ranking. I was thinking more like Lieutenant General, 4-star General surrenders. From that standpoint, Richard Taylor was kind of the last of the high-ranking officers. Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that the Confederates had Stanwadi, who was I don't know what Native American tribe he was from, but he was Native American. All right, so here we go. Oh boy, a bunch of those reboard farmers that I can't really use. Numbers-wise, let's take a look here. He outnumbered me by almost 13,000 infantry, but I managed to, with only 5,000 casualties, inflict almost 20,000 on him. So I'm very, very pleased with that. Very pleased indeed. So let's take a look at where things stand now. I've got those 2 points. Those are going into Army organization because I can't get enough men into some of these units. Moving ahead, we're obviously going to start the next live stream right into the Battle of Malvern Hill, which his army's still sitting at 82 to 87,000, and Malvern Hill should be interesting. I believe this is one that's a lot easier on the Union side. Confederate side, this one's a bear because the Union's got so much artillery, and Malvern Hill was really decided by artillery. I think half the Confederate casualties came as a result of artillery fire. So this one should go fairly well. A lot easier, I think, than Gaines Mill was. But yeah, I'm very pleased with those results. So let's just kind of take a look and see. I've got 36,000 men and $500,000 available. Man, I miss being on the Union side. You don't ever see anything like that on the Confederate side. So we've got a lot to do to kind of get refit and ready for the Battle of Malvern Hill, but that will come next time. I'm going to wrap this live stream up. I want to say thank you so much to all of you for being a part of this, especially being able to branch out to Twitch and hopefully maybe gain some new followers that way and expose some new folks to this. So I want to thank all of you for being a part of this. Thank you for bearing with me as I kind of try some new things and see how it goes. But as always, I really enjoy this. I really enjoy being able to interact and talk with you guys about these things. And I'm already looking forward to the next one. Be watching for a channel update with information about when the next live stream will be, because things are kind of up in the air for us at the moment about when we might be moving. It's possible that Saturday we could be moving into our new home. If that's the case, probably not going to be a live stream. We might bump it to either Friday before or the day after on Sunday. But I'll definitely let you guys know that so that you know that it's coming. And I assure you I will most definitely make sure that I have internet in that house before I move my computer there. So that'll be coming soon. Thank you guys for being a part of it. But we'll look forward to the next one. Just watch for that channel update. I'm going to tentatively say it's going to probably be Friday or Sunday, and less likely that it'll be Saturday, but I'll try to keep it at about the same time, at about 6 p.m. Eastern time. Maybe even a little sooner if it's on Sunday, maybe like 5, but we'll see. But for now, I'm out. Thank you guys for being a part of this. We will see you again very, very soon.